Hi there, welcome to another video for Junior Cert Higher Level Maths. Today we're looking at coordinate geometry and the slope of a line. The slope of a line is a number that tells us the direction and steepness of a line. And the letter we use to stand for slope is the letter M. There are different types of lines that we need to be able to quickly identify from their slope. So the first one will be a positive slope, will be a line that goes up from left to right. So it would be like an increasing line, positive slope. A horizontal line is a flat line and that has a slope of 0. A negative slope is a line that goes downwards as you look at it from left to right. So it's decreasing, it's a negative value, it's going down. And then a vertical line has an undefined slope. And that's because it has a run of 0 and you can never divide by 0 in maths. So it's an undefined value. So they're the 4 different types of lines that you could be asked to match up and you need to be able to quickly identify them just from the value and the shape of the line. How to calculate the slope then? Well, there's 2 ways. The first and most easiest way is if you're given a graph, you use the formula rise over run. So in this little picture here that we have, the rise is the vertical change. So here the vertical change is 3. So we're going to say that our rise has a value of 3 and the run then is the horizontal change, which is 6. So the run will be 6. So the slope is equal to 3 over 6 and you want to simplify that down to 1 over 2. So for every 1 box the line goes up, it moves out 2 boxes. So it has a slope of a half. When we're looking for the vertical and horizontal change to rise and the run, you want to try and make it into a triangle and you want to look for corners of boxes. Here they've drawn it from point A to point B and those are 2 good points because they sit on the corners of boxes. If we look here at this middle value, this will be a poor point to pick because it's in the middle of a box. There's no triangle you can draw from that. So the green dot wouldn't be useful for rise over run. The second way we can find the slope is using the slope formula, which is in our log tables. So page 18 of our log tables is all to do with coordinate geometry of the line. The first thing listed is slope of PQ. So that would be the line PQ. And the formula given is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. From the little diagram over here at the top, it tells us that the point P is x1, y1 and the point Q is x2, y2. So we need 2 points to be able to sub into the slope formula to give us the slope of the line. We have an example of that done down here. Find the slope of the line connecting the 2 points A minus 3, 2 and B minus 5, 0. With all these coordinate geometry questions, the first thing you have to do is to write down your formula and label your points. So I'm going to write down my formula as m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 and label the points. Write them above it. x1, y1. The x always comes first. Think of your alphabet. X, y, z. X comes first, then y. Each point has an x and a y coordinate. The second point is going to be x2, y2. This is the second point. We've already used x1 and y1. Then we replace the letters in the formula with those that we have just found in the points. So m equals y2 equals 0 minus from the formula y1 is 2. All over x2 is minus 5, a minus from the formula, and then x1 is minus 3. So that means we put in the minus 3. This is the thing you have to watch out for with the slopes, that we have a minus from the formula and a minus 3. So we have 2 negatives coming together, which means we're going to have m equals negative 2 on top over minus 5 plus 3, negative 2 over negative 2. Any number divided by itself will equal 1. So this line has a slope of 1. And then one last example, the slope of a line through 3 minus 2 and 1 k is 1 over 3. Find the value of k. So here we know one of the points, we know the slope that we should get at the end, but we don't know the second point. And we need to find out that value. With all the questions, they're all the same. Write down your slope formula. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then we need to go label our points. So I'm going to rewrite out the points out here as 3 minus 2 and 1k, exactly as they're given to me, and label them as before, x1, y1, x2, y2. The only difference with this sum is we actually know the value that we should end up with at the end. We should end up with 1/3. So the slope is 1/3, or m is 1/3. So 1 over 3 is the slope, and that will equal y2, which we don't know, that is k, minus y1, so minus from the formula, and a minus 2, which is y1, all over x2, which is 1, minus x1, which is 3. 1 over 3 equals k plus 2 over 1 minus 3 is minus 2. We've got a fraction here, so what we're going to do is find the lowest common denominator and cross multiply. My lowest common denominator is going to be 6. So I'm going to have everything over 6. To turn 3 into 6, I need to multiply it by 2. So it's going to be 1 times 2 on the top of the first fraction. To turn negative 2 into 6, I need to multiply it by negative 3. So everything on the top over here needs to get multiplied by negative 3. I'm going to bring this up here. I have 2 over 6 equals negative 3k negative 6 multiplying into the bracket. They're both over 6, so what I can do is bring them to one side and add fractions. So I'll have 2 over 6, and I'm going to bring the second fraction over, and it becomes plus 3k plus 6 over 6 equals 0. They're both over 6, so we're going to have 2 plus 3k plus 6 over 6, 8 plus 3k over 6 equals 0. Now to get rid of the fraction, I can multiply both sides by 6. Multiplying the left hand side by 6 gives me 8 plus 3k, and multiplying 0 by 6, well, that keeps me with 0. And now I just have a linear equation where I can bring the 8 over to the right and then divide both sides by 3, and I get negative 8 over 3. Okay, that's the slope of the line. Hope you found it useful.